So, I'm going to talk about all of these movies. First, I'll talk about Blood, Knuckleball, and The Little Mermaid. And out of these ones, actually, I like The Little Mermaid the best, even though that one was, it seemed like made for local TV. Not even just made for TV, made for local TV. But all the same, I think a lot of little girls would enjoy it. So it's worth having made it, I guess. This other one, Knuckleball, it's a bit heavy. You know, it's obviously Canadian kind of show. You recognize one of the actors in it as Canadian anyway. I did. And, but, I mean, I've never seen well, okay, there was one show that I saw, Happiness, that was sort of about the subject. Yeah, and it was, I don't know, they kind of tried to make it as light as possible, but I mean, when you're talking about some kid getting drugged by an adult man, and you know he's going to be up to some sort of mischief, it's a tough subject to talk about. So anyway, but they made a good movie. Kid ends up being his own superhero. He manages to get away. So good for him. So I'll put these ones away. Now this other one, I had a hard time caring. I could see that there was a decent story there, and the actors, I was impressed by the fact that they looked like normal people. But I just wasn't into it. And okay, so we're gonna talk about Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind, Egg, and Freddie Mercury, The Greatest Showman. I might save this one for James because he watched more of it. I wasn't actually that interested in it. It was there wasn't enough music. There was too much blah blah blah, which whatever. Anyway, so I'll talk about this one first. Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind. Everyone should watch this. Excellent. So excellent. I'm going to put it right here so you remember to see it, because it's really worth watching. Now, it's about 2 hours long, and you might think, oh, documentary 2 hours long. I don't think you can handle it, because they throw in so much comedy, because he was, they don't talk about it in there. Or at least I don't remember them talking about it. They talked about his Parkinson's, and they talked about his addictions, but they were talking about alcohol abuse. And I don't think he was only addicted to alcohol. And I think he was manic. So, and I don't think they talked about it. But, I mean, he would go, they did talk about how he could do a stand-up comedy where it was just him for 2 hours, just bang, 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 and wow, he could just go high speed. And it seemed like, from what they were saying, that he would go through the whole up-down cycle over the course of the day. So as the evening came on, he was less and less funny, and he became more quiet and to himself. And so I think he went through that all in the course of every single day, which must have been just a roller coaster to handle. But wow, I mean, did everyone benefit from it? He was really funny. They were talking about Mork and Mindy, and how Mork and Mindy, I used to watch it when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it. But my parents didn't enjoy it. But anyway, they talked about how Mork and Mindy, it became the thing that people wanted to see live in the audience or whatever, because most of what was going on would not make it onto the TV show. There was a lot of cussing, and sexual jokes, all sorts of stuff like that, right? That was not going to make it onto the air. And so, anyway, that I found funny. And then there was at one point, I think it was a director, was talking about this scene that Robin Williams had done when he was quite late in his career, where he decided, I guess he was going to be jumping into a swimming pool, and the character, it was supposed to be a time where he had let everything go and he was just ready to dive right in with nothing to stop him. And so he decided, well, he was supposed to dive in with his clothes on, but that didn't make sense to him, so he took everything off and he dove in naked. And I think it was the director was saying, was talking about how, what did he say? I just thought you were bow-legged, he said. So I guess Robin Williams was really hung. But so that's funny. And the funniest couple things. First was when he went on to Sesame Street, and he was talking to Elmo, and he was saying, oh, there's lots of things you can do with a stick, you know, and he's talking about all these different things that and funny, right? And so then Elmo says, thank you, Mr. Robbins. And so Robin Williams said, well, I'm taking back my stick then. So that's funny because Elmo made a mistake. And so anyway, that was funny. And then there was another part where he was talking about an artificial drug, and it was so funny because I was feeling really down as well. I'm feeling sick. And anyway, so I was feeling down, and then I'm going to have to swear a little bit here, because the name of the drug was Buckadol, and it was so funny that he was talking about, you know, it's the closest thing to a coma and stuff like that. So it was really good. So I laughed and laughed even though I was feeling so down. So so that's really worth watching. That's the best one out of these. Now, that's not to say these aren't worth watching. Now, this one is more up James' alley. He likes to watch that sort of. I would rather just heard music, honestly. But whatever. There's 2 DVDs in here. A lot of content. So, does it say 170 minutes? So, anyway. Egg. Wow. That's a good one. So I'm going to put this one right here. Oh, I'll show you this in a minute. So this is, it says it's a comedy, but it's really not. But it must be based on a play. Because it should be a play. It was awesome. And like my favorite movie is Rear Window, and I think, God, they should be putting that one, releasing it like as a play all the time, because it so works that way, right? But this one, maybe even more so. And anyway, it's about motherhood, and the one woman is, well, the one woman's very pregnant, so she's very obviously expecting, and she goes to visit her friend who is a successful artist, and she's thin and glamorous looking anyway. So she, while they're visiting, like the one very pregnant woman is there with her husband. Her husband is an obvious, like, stereotypical kind of dominant, and she's the stereotypical kind of submissive, right? And so they have the kind of relationship one would expect. but the friend does not. The friend is the successful one, um, work-wise in her relationship, and her husband is actually the submissive. She's the dominant in their relationship. And although she might not have wanted to be exactly, but that's how it worked out. Anyway, while they're there, the successful woman's, the artist's husband is he's just waiting on the very pregnant woman. He's sharing all sorts of information that he's read about different exercises she could do and this and that. He's being very helpful, and he's suggesting books, that he's read that will help her, and he's the husband of the very pregnant woman has brought a bottle of wine, because that's a typical thing. You go over to somebody's house, they're having you over, you bring a bottle of wine. So he's brought a bottle of wine for them. Well, the pregnant woman can't drink it. And so he really hasn't thought about her when he did that. But, so anyway, the nurturing husband of the dominant woman, he makes a smoothie for the two of them. So he's gonna drink that with her in solidarity, so he's going along with that rather than, and he's not having the wine, just to so that she doesn't feel left out, right? Which is very thoughtful of him, because submissives tend to be. Anyway, so it ends up really interesting. So the dominant woman and her husband have arranged for a surrogate to mother their child. Not even just have the child for them, but to be the mother. And so this dominant woman is going to be like the fun nanny, right? Even though it's her egg that has been fertilized by her husband's sperm in another woman. He hasn't fertilized it in the other woman. It was fertilized before that. But anyway, and it gets really interesting. I don't want to give any more of it away. You just have to watch it. You really, really have to watch it. It's so good. So both of these you have to borrow from your local public library right now. You just have to do it. Go put it on hold, because it's so worth it. Now, this one, Everything You Need You Have, by Jared Kite. How to Be at Home in Yourself. Oh, he was acupuncture master. Whatever. It wasn't good. Now, he does talk about a few different, he brings some examples from Christianity and what else? I can't remember. But mostly he's talking about Chinese, ancient Chinese philosophy. And anyway, so if you, I have a hard time with their element system. Wood, metal, water being a death, meaning death. That's ridiculous. It means life. Obviously means life. So if you have a system where they think, oh no, death, then wow, are they ever wrong, as far as I'm concerned. And sure, yeah, fire can mean life, because if the controlled burns, then you have a whole bunch of flowers come up and stuff, and how lovely. So as much as fire can destroy, fire can bring life, but water, more so. And sure, you can drown in water, but life, come on, right? So anyway, I have a hard time with that whole system. And I really didn't get an impression that he could teach you to, I mean, the title is even bad. Everything you need, you have. How about everything you have, you need? Or you have everything you need. That would be better, right? You have everything you need. Everything you need, you have. This ridiculous title. So everything about this, I did not like. It just, it was only 4 discs. How long was that? 4 hours, 37 minutes. So that's what I did when I was doing the rainbow on the back of the butterfly this morning. And, well, I did this and this. This was way better time. Time was better spent on this than this. This was a waste of time. I don't even know what I want to say about it. I don't think I need to say more about it. Just don't borrow this one. It's not worth it. So, now the pizza. I have, I should have put pineapple on for James. Maybe I'll put a little dish pineapple so he could. But the thing is, I put only spinach on my half of the pizza. So I thought, well, you know, and then I thought, well, he could put pineapple, but we have black olives and yum. So I put black olives on there. And I put the those organic sweet peppers that are about that long, about that big around. They're lovely. And so I sliced those up and put those on there. And half of the pizza I put this pesto alla Genovese. It's excellent. It has very few ingredients: olive oil, basil, cashew nuts, sea salt, pine nuts. That's it. And it's a good pesto. I really liked it. Now usually I'd make my own, but don't have basil. Not growing it this year. So, that's good. It was given to us. I'm very happy about it. So half of the pizza I put that on as the sauce. And then the other half I put this, what is it called? Cocktail sauce? And I don't know, it was something that James brought home and it looked tomatoey to me, so I thought, let's give that a try. So I put that on. And if I'd had shrimp for James, I would have put shrimp on the pizza with that, because I tasted a little bit and it's nice and sweet, and I bet you that'd be good. Maybe that's what cocktail sauce is for. I have no idea. I don't know what it is, but it's tomatoey and sweet. And then I thought, boy, because he was talking about how he loved pineapple on pizza, and he says, what else could you put on pizza that's sweet? Because he likes sweet a lot, right? And me, I like the salty stuff. So, not even salty enough. So my favorite pizza is mushroom, black olive, and feta. But I don't eat feta anymore. So I put this butternut squash grated on instead of cheese. And I put spinach on there, which is also good. I like spinach on a pizza. But anyway, so I think it would have worked if I put the cocktail sauce on and spinach and pineapple and the red peppers with the butternut squash. I think he would have really liked that. But I don't have any shrimp right now. Did I say shrimp or did I say spinach? Not spinach with pineapple. That would be revolting. But what was I gonna say? I'll have to remember that for one day when I have shrimp to make him that pizza, because I bet you he'll love it. Anyway. So yeah, out of all of these picks, definitely these two. Definitely. So good.